Hey everybody, I want to share with you what is going on energetically. We are in the midst of one of the biggest timeline splits, choices that I have ever seen. And it's very interesting. I've been working with the energy of it and trying to understand, what does it look like? What does it mean? And the biggest thing I can say is that one timeline has compassion, unity, and sovereignty. The other timeline has control, division, and non-sovereignty. And the timeline that brings in where we have to hold the compassion, that timeline seems to spiral up. The other timeline seems to spiral down. And it's interesting because they're both going to be overlaid on top of each other for quite a time. And it will become more and more obvious that it's two worlds. And the biggest thing that I've been working a lot with Mary Magdalene, I just got back from France. The biggest thing that she's saying is it's compassion. Can you have compassion for your fellow man? Can you have compassion for somebody who chooses beliefs different than yours? Can you have compassion for those who have no compassion? It's not an easy task. You know, often we can look in the world and it's not hard to judge. It's not hard to look at things and go, okay, that was not okay, that was wrong. And yet, can we say that and still have compassion for their experience, with the understanding and the knowing that when somebody has so much hate, division, bitterness, whatever the words are in their heart, what they're creating for themselves is miserable. It's absolutely miserable. And so we can have compassion for that. You know, oftentimes we get confused with having compassion, and this means we don't have boundaries. Nothing can be further from the truth. Mary Magdalene in France said to me multiple times, roses have thorns for a reason. You can have your compassion for your fellow man, for somebody who seemingly is operating differently, believing differently, different morals, whatever the words are, and still hold compassion for them, still hold this space of, okay, if that's how you're wanting to live this creation, so be it. We don't have to be full of hate, be full of anger, bitterness, full of misery and lack, while trying to tell somebody else that their bitterness, misery, lack, and lack of compassion is wrong. We can also be very clear with, I can see you, I can have compassion for the existence that you are creating for yourself, and it doesn't need to impact my every single day. This is my boundary, and I do not have to go onto your roller coaster ride, but I can have compassion for you because you keep going up that hill and then you keep going right back down. I can have that space. It's interesting because in talking to Mary Magdalene, we are at a massive choice point. We can see what's happening collectively. We can see where some are absolutely moving into unity, and we can also see where the division is getting louder, where there is a greater desire to squash, harm, be mean to another person for whatever reason. And we can also see where it's possible that some of what is taking place could lead to greater control, fascism. It is very fascinating watching it and not being triggered by it. because that's the key. Can you step outside of this? Can you look through the lens of observation, through the lens of neutrality, the lens of compassion for this experience, because it is not easy. This is one of the most difficult schools in the universe, and we're all here just trying to get through. And Mary Magdalene has said to me so many times in France, the way through is in and with compassion for yourself, for your fellow man, and for all of this life, all of this experience. And yes, we may get triggered, and we may find ourselves falling off the track. It's all right. Pick yourself up, get back into your heart space, and keep going. Keep going. Now, the good news is, for months now in meditation, I've been connecting with the grid, and it's the higher grid, and seeing the lights, which are the people who are now accessing it, the people who are now holding compassion, holding neutrality, and are beginning not only to hold it, but emanate light. And in the past week, I have seen an explosion of this grid. I look and I'm like, wow, all over the world, more are moving into that place within themselves where they can hold this, and they can hold it for others, and they can be guideposts to say, I got it, it's okay, come this way. All you have to do is have compassion in your heart for others and yourself. So I hope this message finds you well, and that as we move through integrating this September of eclipses, and we move into October and the new energy of the 1 month, that we find that we are able to make big strides as a collective to the timeline that has us sovereign, unified, and compassionate. Sending you all lots of love.